Hello everyone, my name's Misbah. Welcome back to another video. So I thought I would start this week's video by sharing with you my favourite perfume. It's Miss Dior Originale and it's by Christian Dior. And I thought I would share the history of it with you. So Christian Dior established his reputation as one of the most influential designers of the 20th century in 1947 with his first collection. So it came after the Second World War, and during the war there'd been rationing of fabric and women's clothes were very plain, almost masculine. So Christian Dior came up with this new look in Paris, and it was opulent and very full skirts and very full flamboyant dresses. It was an instant success. So one dress took up to 22 yards of fabric to make. And at this launch, he also introduced a new scent, Miss Dior. And this was a tribute to his sister Catherine. And she was an amazing woman. During the Second World War, she joined the French resistance in Paris, and then she was arrested by the Gestapo and she was sent to a concentration camp. So she spent many years there and she survived, and after the war she was given medals for honour and for bravery. And Christian Dior thought that she was the original Miss Dior. She had intelligence and bravery, and he created this scent for her. So the scent is not flowery, it's not girly, but it's a timeless classic. So I'll just show you the bottle. So I've got the 50ml here, so you can also get it in 100ml, and it's in a very plain unassuming box. So I know that some of his perfumes come in quite flamboyant boxes, but this is a very plain box there. So you can see it's a greenish colour and it has this very fresh green scent to it. So it's quite powerful, you just need a little spritz of it. And to me it smells like wet, damp moss in the woods mixed with soap. So I think it has a fresh spring smell to it without being girly and without being floral. So I really love this perfume. It's a timeless classic and I hope you found its history interesting. So Miss Dior by Christian Dior. So in the second part of my video, I thought I would share with you how I do a very simple flower arrangement using my rose bowl. So I'm going to have reds and blues for this. It's going to be taken to a Jubilee street party, and then in a separate vase I will have white flowers, so we have the theme there. So I've put some water in here and put the lid on top, and then I always start with flowers from the side that come outwards, and I've just been into the garden and picked what I could find, and I've got some leaves, and these are heucheras, so I'm pushing those in to the side. So this is the foliage that I begin with, and then after that I'm going to use these purple stems, which were the flowers that were out of the heucheras. So I think those colours will go with them as well. Now I try to have symmetry, so I try to do it the same each way, but then I also try to make it look natural. So I try to have things hanging over so it looks as if it's overflowing. And then once I've done that, then I always can find a little bit of greenery in the garden. So I've got some ivy, and this definitely has to be hanging over. So you push it in at the side, and then it needs to hang over the edges. and then I'll just put a little bit more greenery in so that the arrangement looks fresh. So once I've done that, I then put in my statement flowers, and from my garden I've picked some roses. I was a little bit worried because I picked them a few days ago and I've tried to keep them in the fridge to keep them fresh for today. So I think it works. I think they look quite splendid. So these are beautiful red roses, and I always try to have an odd number. So you try to have 5 or 7 or 3, so that the arrangement looks more natural. It's quite windy. Some of my flowers are blowing away. Okay, so that's looking quite full. So that's looking quite full there. And then the final filler will be the blue. And for the blue, I've picked small irises. I've picked the tops of the irises again from my garden where they were growing, and then I will just go in and I will fill the gaps with the irises there. So I always find the flowers that are looking their best, I try to have a colour scheme of 2 or 3 colours, just to keep it simple. And then to make it look a little bit more natural, I have flowers coming, I have foliage coming out of the side. So this is my finished result here, and I'll show you by taking the camera and putting it over so you can see. So I put some white roses separately into another silver vase here. So this is my tribute to the Jubilee Street Party. So the red and the white and the blue. Hope you've enjoyed this second part of my video, and I'll see you for the final part. So this is the final part of today's video, and I'm going to show you how to assemble a dessert to take to a party really quickly. It takes about 5 minutes. So first of all, I've got a cake which I have sliced into thin layers, and I've just placed it onto a tray that I've covered with metal foil. Now, I've not made the cake. I can bake a cake, but this particular bakery that I bought this cake from makes a really light and very moist and fluffy Madeira cake. So I've actually bought the cake from there because it's for a party and I want it to be the best that it can be. So stage 1 is to slice the cake and to spread it so it forms the first layer. And then stage 2 is to whisk up some cream and then to layer the top of the cake with cream. So I've just whisked double cream in a mixer, and now I'm going to just layer the top of the cake. It doesn't have to be very neat. It's got to look as though you've just produced it yourself. It's not made in a factory, so it's got to look homemade. So stage 2 is layering the cake with a layer of cream. Okay, so I've layered the cream onto the cake and now I'm going to do my design. So I'm going to do a Union Jack because it's for the Jubilee, and I've got fruit now, which is the fruit is strawberries, which I've sliced, blueberries, and then finally raspberries as well. So I've got plenty of fruit, and any fruit that I don't use on the cake I will leave in dishes, and that can be served with the cake as well. So I'm going to do the Union Jack design, and you start by doing a cross into the cake. So that's going to be the first part of the design. So I've used all the strawberries up. I've gone for it with the strawberries, and that's made a cross. I'll just tilt it slightly so you can see, and then I'll show you when I've finished it. So that's made a cross on top of the cake. And then I'm going to use the raspberries and I'm going to make diagonals. Okay, so I've used the raspberries now, and I've only used a few, and I've got plenty left in the bowl, so there'll be raspberries to have with the cake. And then finally, in the gaps, I'm going to put some blueberries so that it resembles the Union Jack a little bit. So I'm going to just stop for a second so I can hold the camera over it so you can see the finished cake. So this is the finished cake, and I'm going to take it now to the party. So I hope you enjoyed the Jubilee, whatever you did. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.